Chelsea of Studio here, and today we are doing a spooky speed paint. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the studio. So I thought for the last spooky video of the season, I could just show you guys a really cool witch painting that I have been working on for the past week. I hope you guys like it. I'll explain what I'm doing as I go through the painting. So let's get started. Alright, so I start with the clouds in the background. I wanted to do them orange. I thought it would be a really fun little contrast to have them orange instead of white in the background, especially because I want to do the background, the rest of it, purple. So I do 2 layers of orange because it was a little thin, and then I go in with a little bit of a darker orangish red to give it a little bit of depth. But I don't want to be too detailed because I want them to fall to the back whenever I'm done with this. And then I use a hair dryer to dry them off. I want the background to not stand out as much as the foreground. So now I'm mixing the background purple and filling in those extra areas in between the clouds. I'm trying to do this with a lot of water on my brush, that way it turns out nice and smooth whenever it dries. Also being really careful not to overlap those orange clouds. And then also not trying to get any paint on my moon, because at this point I'm not sure what color I'm gonna make it. Go in with a couple of layers of that purple just to darken it up a little bit. And now it's dried, and so I'm taking off the masking fluid. And going in with the face. This is something I usually don't do. I usually don't start with the face, but I was just having fun with this painting since it was an extra print for my print club members. I was kind of experimenting with a different way of lighting the face and a different way of painting, so that's why I did the face first. And I actually do almost all of the details of the face to start, which is another thing I don't usually do. Normally I color block in all my colors first and then go in with the detail, which I do a little bit of later. I wanted to make sure that it looked like the hat was casting a shadow on her eye. That's why there's a big shadow on the left side of the face. Now I'm doing the shoulders and the necklace shadow, same way I did the face. And I thought the orange lipstick was going to be a cool contrast, so I really enjoyed painting that. And then I'm doing her hair purple, so her eyebrows are purple. I'm also adding white details right now, which again is something I never do. So I was clearly experimenting with this one. Now we're filling in the hair. This is a color that I have in my palette, so I didn't have to mix this one straight from the palette. It's really hard to mix bright colors. It's almost impossible. So if it's a super bright color, chances are it came straight from the palette. And then I'm doing her little off-the-shoulder shirt here, and I let that dry before I move on. So now I'm doing the hat. I was originally going to do the hat just a solid color that matched her shirt, but while I was thinking about it, I just got so inspired and I decided I wanted it to look kind of chrome-ish, like a metallic, like a dark metallic color. I think that it looks pretty good. I think it looks a little less metallic and more kind of like bubbles by the time that I'm done with it, but I went in with a pencil to draw out all the shapes, and then now I'm filling it in with black and purple around the edges. And then I go in and add in those extra shiny parts and fade them together. I tried to use every single color from the rainbow, which is why I think it looks more a little bit like bubbles than actual metallic, but either way, the result of this is so cool. I would say the only thing that I'm not a huge fan of is that oval on the brim of the hat. I wish I had blended that in a little bit more, but overall, this is probably
the most fun I've had painting a hat. I don't paint a lot of hats, so it's not saying a whole lot, but it was a lot of fun to do this. For the tail of the hat, I had this idea that these two hoops would be kind of like extra potions for her, like her emergency stash or something. And so the rings around them are looped on and probably magically held to her hat. And then there's 2 potion bottles hanging off of them. So I'll do that after I'm done adding all of the rainbow colors to the hat. I also go in and add the white, and I think with how much shine I added with the white is kind of what makes it look more like a bubble than metallic, but I'm still okay with it. So I skip down to the choker and I paint the choker and decide to make the stone in the choker match the hat. And then I skip back up to those hoops around the hat that are carrying her potions. I wanted to do them gold originally, but I thought it would blend too much with the clouds, so I decided to do them like a chrome. And then the potion bottles themselves, I did the chains leading down to them gold, which I was right, it definitely blends in with the background. But I really love the blue potion bottle. I wish I had not done that orange one orange though. I wish it had been green or something. Now I'm just doing the foliage. If you know me, then you know I hate painting natural things. It's just so tedious, but I thought that it was really appropriate and I loved the way that it turned out in the end. It's just super tedious to do, really time consuming. I painted in all the black first, which is another weird thing that I never really do. I think I just didn't have a color plan yet, so I didn't know what else to do. Otherwise I would have painted the moon before I painted the black branches, but I decided to go with yellow. And then now just working on the details. This bottom area probably took me the longest besides the hat to do. The skull, the chrome skull, was super fun to do. I really like chrome though. Anything chrome is really fun. Anything shiny is really fun to paint or draw or shade. And then I wanted the wax to kind of look like the hat also. So the wax from the melted candle, like the candle's black, but the melted wax coming off of it is that rainbow color. Like it's a spell or something. And then I add in the whites. I changed the color of this quill several times. I just can't make up my mind. So then I'm doing her little spell papers, her scrolls and stuff, and her inkwell. I wish I had done a couple of different colors besides just varieties of purple. I think it would have made it have a little bit more depth, but it's okay. Hindsight's 20/20, right? So here I'm doing the rose, which I'll go back and highlight later, and then I decide to go back and work on the foliage a little bit more. And then while that's drawing, I am doing more of her little spell scrolls. The orange one turned out super cool, but I do think I prefer the blue one just because I used green with it, so it's not just a flat blue. So I did eventually go back and put like some red on that yellow one, and then the purple one in the background that you can't really tell. I'm just darkening everything, making sure there's good contrast. And then I went in with a pen in between the leaves and added this spider up here on the right. So I decided to just rip it off like a band-aid and do all of the branches and stuff behind it. It's just so time consuming. Not my favorite thing. And then the roses. Roses always take forever. I don't know how people enjoy painting them. They're not my favorite thing to paint, but they always look really nice. So I got over it for this piece. There's a jewel hanging off the branch on the right that I also painted to match her hat. I really love that. It's a small detail, but I love it. Then I added some extra strands, added the highlights to the hair, and then added the white flames for the candle. Then I decided I wanted the moon to glow, so I put a little water with some white acrylic paint and covered it, and then darkened just the border purple around the edges to make it look like it was glowing. And since I had used white to paint over the branches, I ended up going back in and fixing that as well. And I also added a glow to the candles and then some white beads to that jewel that's hanging off the branch on the right. And then I looked back at her face and I thought it didn't have enough contrast. So I fixed that and then used a purple Copic marker to add some webs. And after the webs, I get the oh so satisfying fun of peeling the tape. I mean, just listen. And this is what it looks like.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. This painting took about 15 hours to paint, and I am super excited about the results. I was not expecting to paint all of those chrome parts and all of the colorful detail, but when I got the idea, I just couldn't help it. So it ended up taking a lot longer than I wanted to take on this painting, but I think it worked out really great, and I'm super excited about the results. This painting was a bonus for my Print Club subscribers for the month of October. So anybody that had joined my Print Club by October 31st on Halloween is going to get that print as well as the print of my Sally from this month. If you want to join the Print Club in time for November, I will be painting Pocahontas. And in December, I'll be painting Christmas Belle. So the Print Club is $15 a month, and you can cancel at any time. You get a print and a sticker, and if it's your first time, you get a logo sticker that says Chelsea O Studio, and you also get a membership sticker that says O Studio Print Club. So you can check that out on my website at chelseaostudio.com. And then if you want to see some behind the scenes of how I get all of these paintings done and what I do in my day-to-day, check out my Instagram at chelsea.o.studio. Other than that, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you next week. Bye!